Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris,
And I'm not Karina,
but we're here together
as usual.
for more fun times
And shenanigans.
If this is your very first time listening to us or watching us on YouTube, this is our sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible illnesses. And this month, May, is Ehlers-Danlos Awareness.
I think this is our last episode of the month.
Yeah.
Before it's the end.
Indeed.
So, hopefully we'll cover stuff that'd be helpful.
Yes. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what life's like with the balancing act of EDS and trying to keep up with that. So stick around if that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Where can they find us?
Oh, yeah. You guys can find us on YouTube, obviously, to see us. If you just want to listen, we're on Spotify, Audible, Google Play, Podbean, and some other smaller sites.
Yes.
And then you can also join and talk to us or hang out during our lives on Discord.
Yeah.
And you can just talk to everybody there. If you need advice or want to vent, it's a great place.
Absolutely. And then if you want to get more involved, we do have a Patreon, which we need to call out our lovely patrons.
Oh, yeah. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Since we have new ones?
So we do have new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Crystal, for joining us. I'm so excited that you'll be...
Who's this Crystal? I have no idea who this is.
You'll be able to see the full episodes and binge all the shorts.
Yeah, this is kind of her brainchild, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
funny
so-
how it happened.
But we also have to thank Ruth,
Uh-huh.
obviously.
Yes.
And then Kaylee.
Uh-huh.
And then Krieg, first of the Pains.
First of the Pains.
That's everybody.
Yeah. So, yes, welcome. We're excited you're here. Do you want to do a weekly recap?
Yeah.
Just a quick one?
Yeah.
All right. That makes it time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Indeed. Yeah. Life. This week.
Yeah.
It happened. It was a rough week, actually. It was a really, really rough week.
Mm-hmm.
For both of us, I think. Especially like mood wise. There's a lot of that like mood based learning that we kind of slipped into this week because the weather was hell and you had some extra circumstances and
I always do. It's always something extra.
yeah, and my face is absolutely the worst.
You can show me your pain
she's
graph.
The worst. We did a pain graph on Friday?
Yeah. No, yesterday.
Yesterday during our live.
Yeah.
So I just took a random 10-minute sample of what the pain is like. And the funny thing is, as soon as we ended, the pain went from like 7 and then stayed at 7-8 for like
you were
a half hour.
You were feeling
great.
it. And that's what
So-
a 10-minute time span.
Yep, that was just like a random 10-minute sample.
So it spikes every 2.5 minutes.
Because I was trying to figure out where it stops, like where it is, where I'm having the base,
Right.
like where it comes down to baseline.
Yeah, noticing
Yeah,
when it's not dire,
right.
so you can appreciate those moments.
Yeah.
That's such a hard skill to learn.
Because
'Cause-
it's hard to like track when it quits. 'Cause
Yeah.
your brain doesn't pick up on like, oh, it's over now.
Right, which means you have to pay attention to being in pain, which you don't want to do because
Right.
that draws attention to it.
Because the only thing your brain's picking up on is when it kicks up again, and then it's like, oh, this has been forever.
Yeah.
There has been no break at all.
Until
And
it
you're
comes
like,
back and you're like, wait, it was gone?
Exactly.
Shit.
Exactly. It's so frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I was out of work a couple times this week just because things were so bad and the weather was awful. Thursday, I was like, can't move. Can't do any of the things. Nope. It's over. But I'm glad the week is over. I have 2 more weeks of work. 2 weeks and a day. 2 days.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I'm ready for it to be over.
Kaput.
Let it end so that I can rest. Because right now I'm living in the land of like, does everybody hate me or am I in pain? Or is it both? We don't know.
Probably both.
It's
Let's be honest.
confusing.
It's both. It's for sure. It's both.
Yeah.
Everybody hates you and your body sucks.
And my body sucks. It's all terrible all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I had therapy. So that was a lot of crying. That was fun.
It's good.
It's great.
Get it out.
She's like, you need to go back to your worksheets. And I'm like, I don't like the worksheets.
Oh, are you
I
finding
need
stuck
to talk
points?
things out. Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I'm so not looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, my stuck point right now is like, I can't be in pain at work, or I can't visibly be in pain at work.
Right.
Because I don't feel safe being in pain at work. And she's
Yeah.
like, well, why is that? And I was like, well, I know why it is. And she's like, well, then maybe you need to work on the stuck point. And I'm like, fine, I will do that eventually.
If that's what it's like, I'm gonna miss Libby a lot.
I think it depends on who you get to.
No, I miss Libby now.
And there's like the pain team versus normal therapy.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of really good like normal therapists.
Okay.
Normal, I say, you know. But yeah, so it's been a week. I did not have a good time. I'm glad it's over. I'm not ready for it to begin again.
Yeah, but you're close. 2
Yeah.
weeks. That's it.
So close. I just need to make it that far.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can be done for a while. How about you?
I spent the first half of the week without any of my medication,
Yep.
like because I don't have a doctor anymore. I don't have primary. I don't have pain management. I don't have therapy, psych. I have nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to rebuild. Probably with Kaiser, like what
Yeah.
you're doing. I'm hoping to get in with Kaiser so I could do the same thing.
Yeah.
We're
We're just waiting on I almost said bookie.
on the bookie.
They're waiting on the broker.
Yeah, the broker will get it. She's working with Jen now, apparently. So
Good.
what else? So I spent the week in like really bad pain because we had that weather and we were both dying.
Yeah.
And then I was manic for the first, like genuinely manic for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was way more than I could handle. Like going from slight mania that I can easily control to the full on thing was like intense.
How did you describe it to me this morning? It's like
What do you
having
mean?
a jockey.
It's like having a jockey on you whipping you. It's like, go, gotta go. And you're like, no, clean. Why aren't you cleaning? Why are you hitting me?
Also, everyone hates you.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
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 It's just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was messaging the shit out of Karina because I was just so frustrated. I was like, I can't. I'm not allowed to get up. If I get up, I'm gonna fall over. I know I am. Like as I was way out of it. So I'm just sitting in bed in pain, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
And that's the most frustrating feeling when you're like, I just did all the things I could do.
Right.
I'll just have to accept now. But that was hard.
No, I get that.
With the mania, dude, like just constant pressure to be doing things and
And then no energy to do those things.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I finally got my Abilify
Which is good.
filled, which was very good. It made a huge difference right away.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad you have something on board to like hit that interim.
Yeah, because I need really the trick to surviving this like period in between doctors is to keep my bipolar disorder in check, because that's the part that kind of throws everything into chaos.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not manic or I'm managing my mania, it's so much easier. Like I can be like, oh, I don't need meds. I don't need,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's so much
You can be
easier to,
like, I'm gonna find something else to do or
Right.
to use or to like. But when the mania is there, it's like focus in on one thing and then be angry about that.
oh, yeah, be angry about everything. It's
Yeah.
not just one thing. It's like he brings a plethora. He's like, so you're mad about all of these, but you don't know that you're mad about them. Look at them and then think about it. And you're like, oh, fuck, son of a, where did you get these? And he's like, ha ha ha, I'm in your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
We got it though.
Yeah. It was a nice manic low.
And high. It was both. It was like,
same time.
yeah, pretty much. It's bipolar, right? You get to be both.
Mhm.
Usually it's supposed to take like weeks to transition from each one, but I was literally like, let's go, everything's great. And then 10 seconds later, it's like, why does everybody hate me? Why is the world out to get me? Why can't my body be normal? Why, blah, blah, blah. And then you get back to normal, and then you go high and low, and then low and low and low, and then really high. It's not fun.
No.
And we have a lot of bipolar people who follow us, so
Mhm.
you guys know.
Yep.
Huh.
My husband's bipolar. He's sitting here nodding along. He understands. We all understand.
Oh, I hate it. But we survived it.
Yeah.
And I feel good now. Like the infection's completely gone finally.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, because there's no pain in here.
Good.
Well, there's a little like residual, but it's still
Right.
healing. Because they had to scrape a lot of bone out, so
Yeah.
it's healing up. The actual like
Incision.
yeah, like everything feels fine.
Good.
So
Because I know that was a lot of the pain for a while.
oh, that was most of it was
Yeah.
that infection. Because like everything else is background.
Mhm.
It's easy.
I know when there's like when there's an extraordinary pain, everything else falls into the background.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll forget about the EDS part of things because I'm dealing with the trigeminal neuralgia.
Yep.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, I have EDS and I just dislocated my knee.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome.
I know we're the weekly recap is going on long, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say that I've been noticing I've fallen back into like an imposter syndrome, like loop,
Yes.
where like I keep thinking I'm fine, and then I'll dislocate, like you just said, or select something. I'm like, oh, what? That was weird. And again, in my brain,
weird.
I'm not like, oh, you have EDS. My brain's just like, that was a one-time thing. That'll never happen again. You're like, oh, okay, it's fine. And then it happens 3 more times, and you're like, each time, no. It's just the one time. Don't worry about it.
That's my face.
Right?
All the time, where I'm like, oh, this is just, it's a one-off. I don't know. And then it's gone, and I'm like, see, it's gone forever. I'm totally fine. And then it shows back up, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Oops.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
But I survived. I watched a lot of what did I watch? I was watching something and I was really high because I couldn't bear being alive. God, it'll come to me. Oh, I think I was watching that Ice Train one. The one that's the Willy Wonka sequel, technically.
I know what you're talking about. The Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer, yeah. Yeah, I watched that. I was like, whoa.
I didn't know it was Willy Wonka related.
Oh my God. Okay, so anyone who's watched it, it's not Willy Wonka related until you watch it again, knowing that it could be, because you have like the older lady could be Veruca, like, as, and everything's WW, which would be Willy Wonka.
Weird.
And once you watch it with that pretext that that's not Willy Wonka but the kid or Charlie, running the ship because he has all the money to build the Snowpiercer, it literally could just be a sequel to it in a post-apocalyptic world.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
We should watch it at some point together and be like, oh my God.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Interesting.
So that's my anecdote.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Otherwise, my week was good. It wasn't good, but I'm alive.
We are alive. We live. It's great.
And we have a new laptop. Ooh.
We do. I got a new baby because my other baby was dying. So now I have a new baby. It's very happy.
Oh, it's so cool.
He loves it.
I was gonna buy this, like, with my tax return for this exact purpose.
I got it on sale. It was like $700 off.
That's so good.
I was like, this is too good to be true. We're buying it.
Yeah.
And so I did the thing, and we bought the thing, and now we have the thing.
Yeah. The thing.
The thing. For the words.
The words.
So, jumping into our topic for the day, we're going to be talking a little bit about like the balancing act of trying to manage symptoms without causing flare-ups in other systems of the body or worsening symptoms elsewhere.
Right.
And what that's like and the patient's kind of required. So, how should we start this off?
Well, anecdotally, let's say, like, I had that vest, right?
Yeah.
For posture, I used to have a vest. It was like a black. It's kind of like a wetsuit.
Yeah.
Right, like whatever that substance is.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking
right?
about.
Right, and it had like a hard board in the back, and then you would like strap it in, tighten it up, and it would help you with your posture. But it would start messing with my hips because my hips are used to standing straight a certain way, and once you straighten the back, they're now cockeyed, and all the muscles are not built for that. I mean, they're built for that, but you've trained them to not be that shape.
Right.
So I had to stop. It was too painful.
Yeah. Because with EDS, our bodies move wrong.
Yep.
It's just all wrong. I had a PT once who was just like, well, don't move that far. And you're like, how are you supposed to monitor every one of your movements? Every single one of your movements? Because that's what it is that our bodies learn to compensate for difficulties in the systems by taking shortcuts and finding alternative routes to things.
Yep.
And then we wind up with these systems that are not working together the way they should.
No.
And also are just not like, they're not the standard extensions.
Right. So like imagine, I wish we had the whiteboard like ready so I could just draw on it right back here. But like you're always talking about like your pelvis is like wonky, right? If we straightened that out, your spine goes off to the side.
Yeah.
So it's like you'd have to have someone set it, and then you have to retrain all the muscles to hold that position.
I would need like a whole body cast.
Yeah.
to,
Well,
like,
honestly, I think they'd have to
figure it
break
out.
it.
Yeah.
And like reset it, and then
Yeah.
then you'd have to do healing.
From like where my tailbone is. Yeah,
Yeah.
because with the everything being like twisted the way it is, it's twisted, but my spine comes out totally straight.
Right, because you've
It
adjusted.
has figured out how to do that with my body being all cockeyed.
Yeah.
I also have noticed that like I fill my left lung fuller than my right, because a lot of the time when I'm like hanging out, I'm hanging out in such a way that I'm like compressing the right, and the left is the one that's free.
Interesting.
And so breathing, I have to be like really conscious to fill both sides and to like really take air in and notice where it's going. It's weird.
No, I get it. I used to play instruments all the time, like woodwinds. So like my diaphragm is very sensitive to like control.
Yeah.
So I can breathe like how I want. I can, like when people start to panic when they run out of breath and they like freak out, I can power through that so well. Because I've like hold notes like no one's business. Because I was on a bass instrument and we always get the like long notes. And it's like, that's 17 bars of a whole note. How am I going to do this? Yeah.
Just pray.
Well, I could learn how to circular breathe, but I never mastered it. So
pass out. Yeah, no.
I'll figure it out someday.
No, you're not supposed to do air-based instruments.
I don't care if my lung collapses. It'll be an experience. It'll be fine.
This is the man who had sepsis. Like
Autumn had her lung collapse twice, and she's fine.
Great. Next podcast from the ER. 10,000 likes. Ready, go.
I was kind of hoping.
That's a throwback.
I was kind of hoping to do the like a live from the hospital, but I did not.
He was not in it.
No.
Yeah.
I was done with the hospital.
And that nurse thought we were all together in a weird trio, and it was weird.
Yeah.
She was weird. But going back to like the anecdotal, I know that like bracing was a big one for me because EDS, you dislocate. I was bracing for a while, and that worked really well for a while until my body figured out how to dislocate inside of a brace. And oh my God, is that painful. It hurts so much more than just the dislocation and relocation.
Hurts to look at. It's one of those ones where you visually see it and you're like, oh wow, that's a full-on like dislocation. I'm like, you're tucked in.
It's just like, and then it's strapped together, and then no thank you.
And then you can't set it.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of things that like have evolved past the use of bracing. And so those are kind of the things that you find something that works, and then suddenly it's not working anymore.
I mean, a good example of it too is like medications.
Yeah.
Because you'll take something to get rid of one side effect, and then now you've got a new one.
Yes.
And you have to make that conscious decision, like which is more important. Do I want to be nauseous, or do I not want to feel like crap all the time?
Right.
Your call.
Right.
It's just your call. But it's one of those ones where you're gonna aggravate another problem. Just get used to it.
Right.
There's always
well,
another
and
thing.
that's the thing, is the balancing act of like pros and cons to what it is you're doing. Like, would you rather have that thing treated with these side effects, or is that thing really not that bad?
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of it for me, is like, you know what, it's not worth it.
Right.
Because we've talked about like the diets. People have made it through the diets. You were vegan for a while?
Yeah. 6 months.
And I was like, I like cheese and ice cream, and I'm not going to limit my food. So
I didn't mind being
I'll
vegan.
just suffer.
There just wasn't a lot of like variety and flavor.
Yeah. No.
But I survived it.
Because for me, like, food is entertainment.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. So
yeah.
It's either entertainment or it's an inconvenience. And so it has to be entertainment if I'm going to ingest it.
Yeah.
So I never went through with the diets, and I know a lot of other people have, because
they
find
can
it
help.
to be worth it for them.
The problem is, I think it gets misassociated. Like, you fix your diet, you're going to feel better. Okay, say you're a normal human, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not like changing your your eating habits fix your genetic production so that you don't have that same default in your proteins.
Right.
It's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's like when people tell me to take vitamins. Vitamins are a supplement. You're just adding it to your digestive tract, and it gets added in. It's not part of the production. Like,
right.
It's
Right.
not like those
Well,
vitamins
it's not
go
part
in
of
and
the blueprint. You
Right.
can't change the blueprint. It's gonna keep creating faulty collagens, faulty proteins.
Yeah.
Like that is going to continue to happen.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're having severe digestive issues, fixing your diet might help your severe digestive issues.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, like if you're someone like me where you struggle to eat, limiting your options is probably not a great
good call.
idea.
Yeah.
What's another one? Oh, KT tape.
Oh yeah. See, and
I miss
love
the era
KT.
of KT tape.
Me too. That was such a hopeful area. Like
Yeah.
that was right after we started, and we're like, look at all the stuff EDSers have, and we're like, look at that, and they got KT tape, you could brace, and then we tried it, and we're like, this is not great.
My skin just comes off.
Yeah, same. I mean, like it does a good job of holding you
Yeah.
in position. It's just it sucks because your skin doesn't last.
Right. Well, and then you have to keep moving the tape, and then eventually you run out of space to tape
Right.
because the other skin is not holding the tape anymore because it's ridged
Yeah.
with the pattern from the tape from before,
and
and it's basically a giant scab at
Yeah.
that point.
there is a skin barrier that Ruth was trying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it went well or not. I don't think it did, if I remember correctly. Like for some reason it didn't work well.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's another one where like, you know, you add a skin barrier and then suddenly maybe you're allergic to that, or like,
Right.
it's like, who knows?
Right. Well, and that's the other thing is like you could be doing something that's working really well for you. Awesome. This
Yeah.
is great. And then suddenly it's going to stop working and you're not going to get that back. And that can be really disappointing and disheartening. Like, I don't know, chiropractic is one.
Yeah.
That like I was doing for a long time. And then I stopped because we moved. And I was realizing that like it's not any better. And sometimes they hurt me and other times they're not doing enough. And I've had chiropractors through Kaiser, by the way, who are like, you're not even moving your bones. You're literally just popping the gases.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and clearly you don't know anything about that, so I will not be coming back here.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not technically allowed to have my neck adjusted anyway, which is really what I need help with sometimes. As he pops his
I live dangerously.
Oh, I still pop mine all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there's no stopping me.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing. Like, have you ever had people tell you not to adjust yourself?
No. I also
I
don't
have.
do it in front of people. I was noticing this a while ago that like I don't know why. I feel like it's rude. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I also grew up in like a Catholic school setting for a while. So
Excess noise.
right,
Yeah.
popping my knuckles, that's when I started doing that to refit them because they'd
Yeah.
get jammed and they'd hurt, and then I'd have to pop them to
Yeah.
make them feel better.
Oh, yeah.
Who knew I was like fixing a small offset?
Yeah.
But at the time, it was not a good thing to do in class. So I got berated and rulered, like stop. I was like, okay, I won't do it again. So now, like when I'm in public, I'm like, you know, slightly. Ooh, that was loud. Sorry, shh, it was me.
I just do it, and then people are like,
Oh my god, I love that though. I love watching that happen because it's like, I could do that, and then everyone else is like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it's normal.
but yeah, no, I've had people tell me not to adjust myself.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, that is
I've
not
read it.
gonna happen.
When we first started, there was like the list of things we're not supposed to do, and like playing clarinet was one, and I was bummed about that because I have one. Like I wanted to get back into it.
Yeah.
'Cause I really liked playing, but no, it's bad for your nose. Have to learn how to play a string or some sort of keyboard percussion. Maybe. Am I gonna become a specialty timpanist? Of course. I only play timpani and maybe a square or a triangle.
No, it's only square. Triangle.
T-square.
Too few corners.
Okay. As long as it dings like a triangle, that's all that matters to me. Needs more cowbell.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yep.
But I didn't know that like that was a no thing.
No.
Because like, how are you supposed to walk around dislocated all the time?
Well, and
It
It's-
hurts, and I'm not gonna do that.
when we stand up after sitting for a while, we both pop back into position, right?
Mhm.
So
And stretch
there's
and,
no
like,
way to stop
Move
it.
Things, yeah.
And you can't leave it in a bad position because then you're just letting it deteriorate and the muscles get used to that bad position. So
Right.
like I
Well,
have
and
to
then
adjust.
You wear down the joint so much faster, I think.
Yeah.
Because when my right shoulder was bad, I didn't know how to relocate it.
Yeah.
I just had to live with it until it decided it was ready to pop back in.
Yeah.
And that sucked so bad. And I wore that thing out in the front so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the left one, now that I've learned to relocate them or to have somebody else relocate them, the pain that was starting has kind of slowed down and stopped because it's not so stressed out all the time.
Right.
Which is helpful. And also, like, our posture is not going to be correct.
Well, the problem with our posture is it's fluid.
Yeah.
We don't stay in a position for very long. We're like moving all the time.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. And you like pick things up as you go through life, and you learn to do things for yourself because no one else is listening to what you're saying, or yeah. So there's a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have on the other side the things that like people are going to try to sell you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you're new to it and you're like, I need a solution, and you're desperate for a solution, there are people who
We'll take advantage of
will
that.
take advantage of that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can, and they do. And is it right? Absolutely
It's
not.
so hard because
It's gross.
you want something so badly that you'll believe it,
Mhm.
and they know, they're just disgusting people.
Yeah. You'll see in the actual like Facebook support groups.
Yep.
People will get in and spam people. Like, you'll have somebody venting about like they're having a really, really hard time and they're really super vulnerable, and somebody will come in and like spam post about how they cured their EDS with just these vitamins from this one chiropractic doctor who no one else has heard about.
He only adjusts llamas. It's weird.
He ingests a llama in front of you and suddenly you're fixed.
Yeah, llama magic.
Yeah. But people give in to that because they're desperate.
Well, you're right. I mean, everyone's going to be desperate.
Yeah.
Even though we came at it from a different perspective, it's still one of those things where if there was a solution, we'd be like, oh, hell yeah.
Right.
But we're not. We didn't come into it as gullible, I think, as someone who was just diagnosed.
Right. Well, we came into it, we already kind of had the sense before we were diagnosed that it wasn't going to be something that was fixable.
Right. Oh, no.
Even
when
like,
it was...
I've been like this my entire life and nobody's going to be able to fix me. But I've had people, I had a man like sit me down for an hour and try to sell me stem cell infusions or whatever the heck, injections, I don't know. And I was like, no, that's not going to fix it. And he was like, but what if it could? What if that $3,000 could fix it right now? Wouldn't it be worth the try? And I'm like, no.
He's like, it could. You know what else can happen? What if a brick fell from the sky and hit you in the head?
You know what's more likely to happen?
Do you want to know what's in my backpack?
I'm not going to pay you $3,000.
Do I have to show you my Dora, you saucy little scamp.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. But yeah, no, don't. If someone's selling you something, they're selling you something. That's the end of it.
Right.
So be careful what you're looking for, what you're looking at.
Right.
Make sure you're talking to other people who've had experiences.
Well, and you can try things. Like, there's no pain in like trying things as long as they're not trying to get you to spend all your money or get you to start like selling vitamins on your own.
Right.
That's when you're like, oh, icky, gross. I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
But like, people will be like, oh, this diet helped. And then it's worth trying, I think. It's worth trying anything.
Yes.
As long as, you can see through the scam.
Yeah. That's exactly it. It's like, don't get scammed, but also don't be afraid to try.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are going to be things that that work for some people and don't work for other people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that. Like, I've known people who have done like prolotherapy for shoulders and have done great. I've had other people who are like, haha, that didn't do anything.
Well, RF ablations for me.
Yeah.
I did 4, 5, 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And every time nothing happened except that it hurt.
Yeah.
It just hurt for 4 days and made it worse.
Yep.
It felt like.
Yeah.
But I tried it over and over.
Yep. When I did injections, the first time, I think I got like 4 days.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Dude, I want to try an epidural. Sometimes my back hurts so bad. And they said they could try it to help reset everything.
That
like
would
if
be
the
cool.
nerves are permanently angry.
Yeah.
They could try and use like an epidural to calm everything.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I mean, that's where my big pain problem is, aside from like whatever emergent dislocation just happened.
Yeah.
The back is like a constant, and
Well,
it's just
there's more wrong with the back than just the EDS.
yeah.
For sure. Well, and that's another thing to be aware of. It's like, if you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it's unlikely that you just
Oh yeah.
have Ehlers-Danlos
You're not
syndrome.
you're not out there making shit up and collecting diagnoses.
But there are things that kind of go hand in hand,
Yes.
skipping down the sidewalk
Oh, totally.
to mess up your day.
There's like 5 of them. They get together and they're like, "What are we gonna do?" You're like, "Oh no, the boys."
Right? Like what you've got, there's really common ones. So you've POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome,
Mhm.
which you can have like generalized POTS, or you can have hyperadrenogenic POTS, which is super interesting to look at. Then you have mast cell activation,
MCAS.
and they're kind of considered the like trifecta.
Yeah,
Those
together.
3 come together, and they are bound.
Yes. Oh my god.
They have pledged
It's like-
their lives to one another.
It's like when you're making a character in a game and you give it like random skills,
Mhm.
and sometimes the skills like work together. It's like we did horrible on our skills like positively, but any negative, it's like
Negative
you
skills.
look at all the synergy between all of these. Look, if you take EDS and mix it with MCAS, they lose their shit. And look, if you had POTS, now their GERD is acting up. I got GERD.
Oh no, now we have gastroparesis,
Ugh.
which is
Ugh.
another one that's not
Wait,
super uncommon.
what's the other one? The swallowing one.
Oh, dysphagia.
Dysphagia, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I know it's in Asia.
Asia.
Didn't know what it was.
Dysphagia.
Dysphagia.
Yes.
But yeah, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
And you're not crazy.
Right.
It's a symptom. If it's a symptom, we can figure out where it comes from. And
Yeah.
it could all just be under the umbrella of EDS.
Yeah.
Like I said like 2 days ago, I wish that it was taught that way,
Mhm.
like an umbrella condition.
Yeah. Because that's kind of how I think about it, is
Yeah.
like the overarching thing is the like Ehlers-Danlos syndrome with all of these fun things that like live underneath that umbrella.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's great. And then if you're someone like me, you wind up with, or in fact, you get like neuropathies,
Oh yeah.
which was one of my very first symptoms, was like the absolute agony in my hands and my like arms and my legs,
Yeah.
which is horrible. And thank God for gabapentin at that time in my life.
Yeah, gabapentin's clutch, man. It's
Yeah.
been saving me all week.
But also, like, that's another one where be careful what you're learning, like from other people anecdotally.
Yes.
Talk to your doctor if you're unsure. But again, don't be afraid to try something because it didn't work for
Right.
somebody else.
Right.
Because gabapentin has been a lifesaver for a lot of people.
Yeah, for both of us, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then there's other people who swear against it like it were the devil.
Mm-hmm. And we've
And
been on
warn
it.
against
We've
it.
been on it long term. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people be like, I was on it for 4 years, and then when I got off of it, everything was better. I've been on it for like 8 years, and
Yeah.
I need it because I just went out without it, and it was horrible. I'll tell you that.
It's been a long time. And then I moved to Lyrica, but
It's the same thing. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like if you read something that's bad, remember that that's their experience and that yours
Mhm.
is gonna be different.
Yes.
It's nice to read up on what could happen because then you can be prepared
Right. Well, and you can always take those concerns
to.
to your doctor
Yeah.
and be like, this is what I'm worried about. What can you tell me?
Oh yeah, especially for surgery type stuff. Like if you prep your anesthesiologist
Mhm.
with all of what you need and your concerns,
Yes.
it's the way to go.
Well, and there are things to be aware of. So, like, don't be afraid to look for information.
Yeah.
You should be educated in your conditions. And don't let anybody tell you that, like, oh, you're a Google doctor now. Like, no, but you want to be informed on what's happening with
Like,
your
excuse me, I just wanted to see the manual. What's going on
right?
here?
I needed the driver's manual.
The
I'm not
maintenance
trying
light
to
keeps
build
flickering.
the car.
Does it need help? Does it want help? Can I help it? I don't
Can
know.
I?
It just flickers. It doesn't stay on. What does it mean? It means you're hitting potholes. Oh, right.
Right.
Got it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, it's all a balancing act. It's all about kind of weighing what's what.
hmm
But like you said, it takes a lot of patience too.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Like, because you'll try new things and then you'll want to stop right away when you have one negative reaction.
Yeah.
You kind of have to power through.
Mhm.
Like for most things, it's a 6-month trial period or a 6-week trial period.
Yeah.
For
At
it
the
to
very
be in your
least.
system.
Yeah.
And then they'll listen to you a little bit.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like with you. When you finish, you're still going to have to, they're not going to up anything. They might go, let's go a little longer. You know what I mean?
Which I don't want to do because I don't think the muscle relaxer is helping. I think the muscle relaxer is hurting.
It's causing things and not helping at all. Like causing
Yeah.
side effects, but not helping the TN.
Right. Because the TN is only getting worse, which is just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm on literally all of the medications that they would put me on for like tier 1 help, which is the Lyrica, the carbamazepine, and the baclofen.
Mm-hmm.
And they doubled the baclofen, they upped the carbamazepine, and we're still on Lyrica.
I wonder, can they not do a nerve block?
I don't know. I don't know what would happen.
Me either.
Because
Like,
that's
would
the
you
thing.
lose
I
function?
don't want, exactly. I would rather go the surgical option
Yeah.
before I would let them be like,
But-
you could have Bell's palsy. I don't want that. I
Right.
don't need that in my world. Just cut my skull open, please. I
Yeah.
don't want a numb face.
I was talking to Jen about this the other day, specifically this exact scenario where it was like, all we want is for people to open up the brain. Like if someone presented it, she wouldn't even like think about it. She would
No,
just
I'm
be,
like,
yep.
just get in there. It's
You
fine.
want? Here, look, I shaved. Let's go.
They're not gonna like
Come on.
mess with the actual brain. They're just gonna get in between
They
the
just
skull.
They just
and the
open it
brain.
and mush it to
And-
it's like, oh, this pile of gray matter. Let's just mush it. Oh,
They
look at
take
that.
down some of the arachnoid.
Look at that Hey, you don't get that's my shit.
But
You back off.
he has arachnodosis in his spine.
Adhesive.
Adhesive arachnodosis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Which-
means that his like dura. There we go.
Mhm.
That's the word. Dura. The sheath that is around your spinal cord. His is like binding all of the nerves up.
Yeah, they're getting stuck together,
And-
which causes them to swell,
yeah.
which causes them to stick, which causes them to swell, which causes them to stick.
Yeah.
So
So
my
he
spinal
has like
cord's
a
getting
ball of like
Hate.
not tinfoil. Cling. Like
Cling.
plastic cling
Cling
foil.
wrap. It is. It's
Cling wrap.
exactly cling wrap.
Cling
Yeah.
rack. Help me, words are not working.
No, I got you. I was right there with you. I didn't get lost at all.
I was like,
You said
cling
aluminum, and
foil,
I was like, cling wrap.
Cling. At
Yeah, no, I was right there.
the base of his spine. That's what's causing your pain.
Yeah. The like constant pain. If
Yeah.
anything, that's my chronic pain. And then there's the EDS is everything else.
Right.
It's weird.
But like that's really the surgery is that they cut a hole. They go in, they
Yeah.
like slice open the dura just very gently. They go in, they pry apart from the brain. They're like, brain, you stay down there, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna move a vessel away and we're gonna stick a little silicone pillow in there.
Yep.
And then it's done and that's it.
I just imagined the doctor opening up your skull because I was like, she'll want to take a picture, like to see her brain, right? Like, but then I imagined the doctors being like, they cut you open and they're like, oh, that's a cute brain. Splish, splish, splish. And then
They push it
push it over
aside.
the side.
Just
Splish,
cram
splish.
it into the
Get-
corner.
Get over there.
Somebody's got a whole hand in my skull.
And they're just massaging your
just
brain. You're like,
playing with it like putty. Ew.
memories are flashing before your eyes. Could
I
you-
meet
could
my
you
higher
stop?
self on anesthesia. Yeah. It's not even a very long surgery. Like I'm game for that.
That's one where
man.
you have to stay awake, isn't it?
I don't know.
I feel like it is because they're working around the brain and they need
Yeah,
you to
I
be
don't know.
there to like answer simple questions, like so they didn't like hurt your brain.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not.
Don't know. Because they're not actually operating
On
on
the
the
brain,
brain.
right.
They're not touching the brain. They're working in like the attic
Hmm.
above the brain.
Yeah. What if they go too far though? Looking for gold. What if they want to splish splash your brain? I'm just saying.
As long as they don't nick an artery, because then you have like blood-brain artery, like blood-brain barrier.
If you're-
it's done,
But your brain's open.
it's just
Bleeding doesn't lead to like pressure. You don't. It would be less.
No, but you don't want things to cross the blood-brain barrier, right?
well,
So
typically no.
Technically, it would be a bad thing to have blood in your brain
Yeah.
and in your spinal fluid. That's not a good
I
thing.
live my life by that. See
Blood
fluid and
in
blood.
your spinal fluid.
Yeah. That's
You're
where
like,
I keep it.
I just mix it together. I shake it up really hard.
Is
and then
that
I just
why
pour
I
it
keep
in.
feeling like I'm having a heart attack?
Maybe it's all the bubbles from when I shook it up really hard.
I've been having horrible like chest pains all week that lead to like tingling in my arm, and I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
I'm dying. Pretty sure it's in my lungs because
It could be.
it's like it moves around. It's all like up in here. It's not more central where it should
Yeah.
be. It's up in.
I've been getting
here.
the like when I lay down, and I can't ever tell if it's like an actual anything or if it's the TN,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, and I feel like there's got to be a compression somewhere, because when I lay down, like the blood in my head has nowhere to go. It just is like thump, 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 thump. I'm like, oh, I'm dying. So I actually added back the verapamil, and I'm gonna talk to my doctors.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm pretty sure my blood pressure's high, and I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah.
Could this be a problem with the medication, or is it time for me to actually die?
Well, that's it. That's exactly what we're doing, right? You're trying a thing, and you need to move on to something else now.
It's true.
You're being good.
It's that like where you do the experimentation.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the scientific method? Because that's how you're gonna live your life for the next forever. I'm not kidding. We did homework. Okay.
Yes.
The more you know about your condition, the better off you are.
Yeah.
The more you can present to a doctor, like, and be like, factually, this is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
The better.
Yeah.
Less mishaps with communication.
Yes. Because they don't care about the anecdotal, unfortunately. No. So.
Isn't that the most messed up part, though?
It's so frustrating because they're like, they don't take into consideration that we live in our bodies full time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, once they get to the hooves not being zebras, then
horses, not zebras.
It's happened one time, so it's not going to happen a second time. Like, oh, they have this, so they couldn't have this other thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, but they're connected. So like,
that's like, I don't know. That's where I'm at in life. Is I had shingles before I was 20, before I was 30, which is rare, right? There's a rare. I have Ehlers-Danlos. There's a rare. I have a movement disorder of some kind. There's a rare. And then throw in the TN, and that's really rare, apparently. How much rare is it going to take for them to just drop
every time
the
you
rare?
say TN, Ruth thinks Tennessee.
I know. That cracks me up.
So that's all I'm hearing you saying is Tennessee.
My Tennessee is hurting me right now.
You're 10 of C?
Yeah.
She has 10 C's?
10 cc's.
You're flailing. You're average.
I'm flailing.
I mean,
yes, I'm flailing. It's my cry for help.
What's funny?
Please help me not drown.
Sophie, another anecdote. Sophie keeps coming up to me after school. She's like, "Dad, I flunked my test," or "Dad, I flunked this, and I'm failing this class." And so I thought she was like actually struggling, right?
Yeah.
We got a call like middle of the week, and they're like, "We need to move her to honors classes."
She's too smart. And,
so the thing is, she's too bored.
Yeah.
And that's why she's failing, because there's no challenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, they want to put her in like 4 advanced classes now.
Good.
But every day she comes home, "Dad, I think I failed my test again." Like, if you could do extra credit, just show them you're trying.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I suck."
You're like, it's almost over. It's okay.
And then she gets like all these honors. And,
it's
like,
over
awards.
in 2 weeks. We're almost done. So close.
Yep.
Is it break time?
Break time for sure.
Break time.
And then we can come back and talk about coping skills.
Yes.
And then our favorite, it's happening to you. It's not happening because of you.
Right.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So what do we need to do?
We need to take your meds.
Yeah.
You need to take your meds. Take your meds.
I need to
your meds.
Also take my meds later.
Take
your I will.
Meds.
I will when they're ready later.
Okay. When they're ready.
I
gotta
at the
prep them up.
Yeah, gotta cook them.
Nighttime.
In the nighttime. Nighttime meds.
You made it sound like you had meds to take like right now.
I know.
He's just making me sound crazy. What else do they have to do?
Gaslight Jen and Gaslight Karina.
Drink some water.
Don't drink gas. Drink water. And also take a break if you've been cleaning or doing chores.
Yep. Have a snack because you are a
Yeah,
snack.
remember, don't get hangry.
You're a snack and you deserve it. Just eat the snack.
Little ASMR for everybody.
Have the snack.
And go outside and get some sun if you can.
Yeah. There's no sun here because it's raining.
Yeah.
But the rain is actually making everything very nice and green and pretty. So
We're for it.
go witness the outdoors.
Behold.
Bear witness to the out of doors
Yeah.
for a time.
Or Debo will come and get you.
Oh no.
Just know that. He's waiting.
He'll show up and he'll ask you to take his bones out, and
He'll shuffle you loose, the mortal coil.
It's weird. He's also like super polite, so it's really hard to tell him no.
Right. He's just a gentleman.
But you're not allowed to take bones out of people.
But he does. And it works. And they don't complain.
It's true.
Because they're dead.
They can't complain.
Anyways.
All right, my friends. We are going to go do some of those self-care type things, and we will be right back.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hi. Do you like Fantastic Pains? Would you like to see more of the Fantastic Pains podcasting crew? If so, you should join our Patreon. The Patreon, as we like to call it, is the new home of our behind-the-scenes content, full uncut recording sessions, our short-form videos such as TikToks and YouTube Shorts, and our past live streams. You can also find some Patreon exclusive content such as our new music reviews, lost episodes, and is the new home of our Mini Voices series, all of which can be found in our higher tier dubbed The Only Pains. The Patreon is the best way to support the podcast, so whether you want to see more of us or just want to help us grow, feel free to sign up following the link in the description below, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome back. How was your break? Ours was pretty good. It's still raining a little bit.
Yeah.
I got
Starting to dry up a little.
I got to hang out with Sophie for like 10 minutes. And she was like, this is boring. And I was like,
You're boring.
you could go away. And she's
The
like, no, it's
outdoors is
boring in
boring.
there. She was bored everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I'm pretty well.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about in this half?
We're going to talk about our coping skills and a little bit of like thought reworking
Yeah.
in a way.
And we should apply it specifically to like solve one thing, aggravate another.
Yeah.
Because we've done like in general coping skills, but I think ones that are really
Yeah.
specific to this.
Right.
So it should be good.
Well, and I think part of that is back to like the patience, right?
Yeah.
Is being able to go, okay, that didn't work. What's next? Instead of like, well, that didn't work. Nothing's going to work. Everything's horrible. Flip a table and then just be miserable.
Right. Well, that's like the impulse when you're like you hit your nose.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your whole battleship is sunk.
Yeah.
You're just done.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
But you have to. Like you have to go doctor shopping. You need to find a place that will treat you the way you need to be treated.
Yep.
And you need to find solutions that work for you.
Right.
Instead of
Right.
just letting it flow by.
Right.
Like we're proud of Doggo. Doggo went in and got his test done.
Yes.
It's not great
Which is
news,
great.
but at least you went.
And the appointment's not too far off, which is good.
Yes, yes.
We're glad for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where do you want to start? Let's see.
Are there any skills for taking a no? Like, I've never really thought about that before. How do you accept denial?
I think part of that is the like being able to accept every outcome,
Yeah.
which is a really difficult thing to do. Don't get me wrong. Like this is not like just do this. This is like you have to be able to foresee what's going on.
Yeah.
What are the outcomes? Like what happens if this? What
Exactly.
happens if this? What are my next steps if this? What are my next steps if this?
Right.
So I think having a plan and understanding, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket
Right.
is a good way to
Well, yeah. Well, and
put that all
this
together.
especially, I think.
Yeah. So it's not like it's not happening to you. It's just happening.
I've had to
So-
do that a lot lately.
Yeah.
Like with all the doctors that I've lost and everything. I didn't personalize it. I was like, it just is what it is. Like
Yeah.
things happened.
Right.
We move on. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard. And I mean, I'm not saying that you put all the emotion away. There's
Right.
going to be emotion in it no matter what happens.
Mhm.
And that's a good thing because your emotions are a natural part of how you as a human being function in the world.
Mhm.
So allowing grief is a really good thing to
Yeah.
do. Like allow room for grief, but don't let it end your world.
Right. Visit it. Don't live there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I did it when we first found out about David and we were going down.
Yeah.
I was grieving basically at the ride home.
Right.
I was just letting it sit.
Yeah.
And accepting that it happened, and there's
Yeah.
no like, I'll just call and tell. No, it's like it's over.
Yeah.
Just it is. You'll be fine. Just wait.
Yeah. Oh God. And learning to wait.
Yeah, especially with specialists and stuff like that. Like you'll get scheduled way far out. I've had appointments that were 2.5 years out.
Yeah.
And I still made the appointment.
Yeah.
But damn, it was rough.
Because yeah, every time you don't make that appointment, 6 weeks later, you're like, I need that appointment, and then you haven't made it, so it's not there.
Yeah.
Like, just make the appointment. I know it's a pain in the butt. Like right now, I'm wrestling with neurology. I'm gonna call again on Monday.
Yep.
Because they had to get a new referral, like a brand new
So
referral.
did they
had to
cancel
be
your other
done.
meeting still?
No, it's still on the calendar.
okay, but it's the only one you
Because-
have.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm not letting go of that
I
until I
gotcha.
have something in hand. And then they're like, here, do a brain MRI. Try to get it done before neurology. And that one's scheduled further out than the one in July.
You could probably call. Is it at one of the health images?
Mhm.
You can usually call and have them move it up.
That's what I'm going to try to do. And
Yeah.
be like, hey, I have the appointment this date. Can we do something?
Are there any
here?
cancellations or
I'm
extra
gonna be
spaces?
totally open. So let me know.
Yeah.
So, but that's exactly it, is like having the plan.
Yep.
And then I know it sucks to like feel like you're in limbo.
Ugh, that
'Cause
was
that
the week,
is-
man.
Uncomfortable.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Especially when you've done everything. You've used your tools, you've grounded. Like you can't ground through the impending sense of anxiety that like bipolar provides.
Right.
Like I tried,
Yeah.
but as soon as it got like quiet, my brain would just focus on the tinnitus, which would make it louder and make me like more anxious about everything.
Yeah.
It's not fun. But I mean, I got through it. And
Yeah.
it was a waiting for different.
Yes. Yeah. Because like if you've been on the channel, we say it gets different.
Yeah.
It gets different. We don't know if it gets better. We don't know if it's going to get worse. We don't know. And here's the thing, and this is a conversation I was having with a kid of mine, who was talking about like bad emotions. And I was like,
Yeah.
sweetie, they're not bad. They just are.
Right.
And that's a lot of life. We tend to like personalize or moralize a lot of what we experience. And we can be like, well, the pain was really bad. Like it was really intense.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have to be morally bad. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like we avoid it because it's bad. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you can't avoid it.
Right. Well, and the other thing that reminds me of, it's not directly related, but like happiness isn't neutral.
Yeah.
Your native state isn't to be happy.
Right.
You if you learn that, your life will become so much easier.
That still bothers me so much when people are like, "Are you happy?" And you're like, "When?
Right.
Right now?"
Right now, my
When?
favorite answers are tired or content.
Mhm.
If nothing's going on and everything's fine, I'm content. I'm not like, oh yay,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right? It's weird.
Or tired because that's our constant state of
We're
being.
just tired all the time, forever.
Yeah. Papa stole. He reassigned the blame. I used to say I'm tired all the time when he
Yeah.
asked. Now it's you who does that, not me.
Oh, I've done it like
I
for
know, but like he
years,
stopped
yeah.
blaming me. He stopped saying Chris does it, and now it's Karina does it because he forgot that I do it. Because I stopped answering tired.
I'm tired. I'm just
Well,
generally
that's like
tired.
the good answer, right? That's
Yeah.
I am tired. I don't want to get into everything, but I'm tired.
I am tired.
But I'm alive.
Yes.
That's alive, but-
I live here on planet Earth.
Hmm.
A lot of the time, that's my answer. Is I'm like, I am here today. There you go. That's where we're at.
Yeah,
I did it. I didn't want to, but I did.
man,
But-
waking up is just the worst.
Oh my god. Especially on days like this, because today was another one of those, like, I woke
Wake
up
up in pain.
in pain. And I
Mhm.
woke up in pain at like 3 a.m. again, which sucks. And I had to like fight to go back to sleep, and then woke up in pain, and then was like, I hate it here.
Yeah.
Everything is terrible. Let me go back to sleep.
I like that both of our major pain sources are just nerves.
Yeah.
Nerves directly. And things that can't really be fixed easily.
Yeah. Well, and then on the other hand, sorry, real quick, I've been feeling like I'm less sensitive, just like you know.
Oh yeah.
You
yeah,
know. And then I've developed this like weird, I don't even know what it is. So like when I'm in bad pain, I check to see what my sensation is like. So I have this like new, it's almost like a stim or a tick
Yeah. Right.
that pops out when I'm having really bad pain, because I'm like, can I feel things? I don't know why.
That's probably a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Like to take your
Like,
mind off
I
things, you
can
start
feel
analyzing.
stuff. Yeah. It's weird. But then I had a bath last night and I was like, is this too hot? I don't know.
Was it?
Probably.
Okay. Like, was it? Or did you die?
I don't know. I can't feel very good.
Every time her knee touches me, I jump.
Sorry.
I don't know why. It's just
It's a
always been that way.
It's a politeness response.
It is. It's like, oh, I'm in
You're
your
like,
way.
oh,
My bad.
oopsies. Yes.
I'm not trying to
It's
manspread.
like the fawning thing. Yeah. Sorry.
I just gave the camera a look. Just imagine that it was a look.
Oh, look.
Luke.
What about, okay, so other coping skills.
For denial, like for this specific situation, it's like don't personalize it,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we're saying. It's happening to you. It's just happening.
Right.
Like,
well,
it's
and
not-
the people involved aren't doing it to you.
Yeah, they're not
just
being malicious.
doing it.
Unless they're having a bad day, but that's not you. Again, that's
Yeah.
they're not being able to
that's
manage
a
themselves.
them thing. Yeah.
And like patience is like literally
Mhm.
skills that we'd use are mainly just distracting.
Yeah.
Like living in the moment, not focusing on that
Right.
I have this thing coming up, or
Yeah.
it's gonna be there whether or not you wait.
Mm-hmm. I've started doing like guided meditations.
Yeah.
And those are easy because I just put them on YouTube, and then I go
Mhm.
find somewhere like dark and quiet, and I lay down and I do my thing. And that helps to like center me again.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else helps in the interim, because I know it's that waiting time that's the hardest.
Maybe talk it out with somebody,
Mhm.
because that helps us both. Like,
Yeah.
we're always messaging each other, or Jen or
Right.
Randy, like,
Yeah.
blah, this is going on right now.
Or friend of podcast Summer.
Oh my god, love you, Summer.
Love you.
Haha.
Miss you.
She
Well,
said
I
it.
miss her.
She
so there.
texted me or texted you.
Yeah.
And then I had to respond. Sorry.
Yeah.
I meant to do it earlier.
But yeah, no, get your support team, because I mean, it's really easy to want to withdraw,
Yes.
because I have done that.
Oh, we both have.
Like recently at work, like I have totally withdrawn, but there's other issues at play there too that are difficult, so I'm reaching out other ways.
Yeah.
Outside of work, so that's not like centralized as
Right. You don't
in
want
my
that to be
support
the
team.
bad place where
Yeah.
bad things happen.
right.
That's really clever.
So I don't know. I don't know. The waiting is the hard part.
Yeah.
And that it just sucks. I get it. I'm in limbo with the trigeminal neuralgia. We're
Yeah.
on the meds. They have upped the meds. We don't know what's going on. And nobody else can help me, because they're like, well, they could do this or they could do this, but
But that's always
that has
but.
to be neurology.
Yeah.
I'm like, great.
Butts.
Awesome.
Great big butts.
But
I'm not even sure how I survived any of the waiting. You get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
It's part of the process. You get used to like long stretches of inconvenience and pain, maybe.
yeah,
And then you can try something different.
right. Well, and self-talk is huge.
Oh yeah.
Self-talk, and
That's a good
then
point.
having those like metacognition moments where analyze your thinking,
Mm-hmm.
see what's in there, and see if there is something that you can depersonalize and let go of, because that is super anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
And we don't like that.
Mm-mm.
There's no good way that ends. And I think the longer that you are chronically ill, the better you learn to meter your energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of things that I choose not to put energy into because that's a waste.
Actually, we should just finish it off on that note.
Okay.
Like, I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. Like, learning energy consumption.
Yeah.
Once you've mastered it and you give yourself breaks, like, you're
Yeah.
like, I don't have it in me to keep going.
Right. Well, and stop picking up other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need that. Stop picking up, like, oh, what do they think of me?
Right.
It's not yours. Don't worry about it.
Seriously.
Put it down. You
It
don't
seems
need that.
callous, but it's true.
Yeah.
People are going to have opinions about you and you can't change it. So.
Right. And it's not your job to, like, monitor their opinions or try to form their opinions for them.
Right.
So, you do you. Be aware of other people. Be kind and, be kind and empathetic, but yeah, really, don't pick up stuff that's not yours.
That's so true. Like, just the idea of energy metering. It's like, now that
Yeah.
I don't expend all that time worrying about it or thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to let it happen. Is
Right.
your appointment.
Well, and it's okay to, like, you're experiencing it. You don't have to shove it away.
No.
Just let it happen,
Right.
and you go through it.
Exactly. You
The
can't go
only-
around it.
Yeah, the only way through it is through it. So, yeah. Takes practice and it takes help and support. And if you need that help or support, we are always around.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
reach us in the Discord. You can leave us comments. We adore when we get the comments.
Yeah. You
and
can get on
share them.
Discord and message us directly if you want. Like, if
Absolutely.
there's something you have questions on or concerns,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, we're there.
100%. Or if you'd like to suggest topics for future episodes.
We have a thread for that.
We do indeed. So,
I think our best episodes come from those.
I know they're just so good because we can all relate, and it's all something that, like, it's coming from real life.
Yeah.
Draw on, because it's hard to talk about something that you're like, oh yeah, that happened to me 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Not so great, but
The way we do this, the podcast, is kind of like how they do South Park, because they do it the week of everything. They do everything in a week for the episode.
that's fun.
So whatever's trending on the news at the time is what they use,
Perfect.
so that they're like with the current,
Yeah.
And we do the same thing. We're just kind of like, let it happen.
Exactly.
What's going on in the world? What did you do? You fell down the stairs? Talk about that. I did fall down the stairs.
Oh
Right.
wait, the one time, not
The
another
one
time.
No,
Okay.
another time.
Okay.
Just the one time
Okay.
when I was carrying laundry and I shouldn't have been carrying laundry and I got yelled at. Instead of help up, she yells at me.
She was scared.
She was terrified. I was like in pain. I'm just help me up, please. But she's like, "What are you doing? I was gonna do that." And I was like, "I just wanted to
You
help.
big dumb idiot. I love you and you scared me.
Just let me take my laundry down."
She was mad.
She was big mad, dude.
Yeah.
She apologized afterwards.
Yeah.
Though. So it
And
wasn't
then your
like a big
grandfather
deal.
was like, why?
I don't know if he knows. I was able to get her attention from the bottom of the stairs without getting his attention.
He didn't know.
He didn't
fell
hear
down
me
the
fall down the stairs. She did. And he didn't hear me going, Jen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You told me.
Come
you
down
didn't
here.
want him to-
Yeah, I didn't want him to know. He would be so mean. He'd be like, "Were you wearing socks?" I don't think I was, actually, but he always gives me shit about wearing socks. I'm losing feeling in my foot, so it feels cold, so I wear socks.
Oh, yeah. Like how we're both like,
Yeah.
can I feel things still?
Yep, still can't.
Can feel stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Just not temperatures.
Let's see. What else is there? I mean, the solution. I guess, okay, so expectations versus reality.
Mhm.
We didn't really talk about that, but don't expect cures.
Yeah.
Look for better.
Yes.
Like, we always look for
Yeah.
quality of life improvements.
Mhm.
We've had, what, I think over 11 surgeries
Between
combined.
us,
Yeah. Like, we've done a lot of surgical work on our joints and on our back and, like, everywhere.
Yeah.
So, like, we get it.
But yeah, no, don't walk into situations looking for 100% better,
Mm-hmm.
because you will be disappointed, and then it's hard to celebrate the small improvements.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always up to you to decide to do those treatments in the first place.
Yep.
I would recommend try what you can try,
Mm-hmm.
like whatever's out there. Like, try what you can try, but don't get hung up looking for a cure, like you said.
Yeah. The real answer is, like, we have in our notes that says expectations. The solution is not it, basically, but
Right.
the solution is slowly piecing together your own medical care team.
Yeah.
Like you'll pick up the right doctor, you'll pick up the right pain med, you'll pick up the right,
Mhm.
but you have to work for it.
Yeah.
There's always an order, and it's never easy.
Right. Well, they don't make it easy.
No.
And they don't make it easy on purpose. So just know that you're not alone in the fight to
Right.
gain quality of life.
A no is not a permanent no. It's a not that path.
Right.
Try a different path.
Yeah. Or not that doctor.
Oh, absolutely.
That can be that thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But also being patient with their process.
Yeah.
Because they have to go through certain things before they can offer you the one treatment you
Oh,
might
yeah.
have been
Like,
looking for.
Newbies might not know, if you're new to EDS,
Mhm.
that your doctor has like a set of instructions that the insurance gives them or them,
Yeah.
so that they know what to do in what order. And it makes no sense sometimes. Like what they use for the Medicaid
Right.
pain order
Right.
is so
That's
wonky.
just so bizarre.
It used to be you had to get to like phase 4 before they would start giving you fentanyl patches, but then they moved it up to number 2 or number 1.
Weird. Stop.
Things to try. You have to try like 2 or 3 of the meds on that list before you move up to the next one.
It's terrible.
And that's how it is. The same with like imaging. It has to be done in order.
Right. Like, especially with EDS, this is a big one. If you have EDS and they're like, let's x-ray a joint, they're not going to find a lot most of the time.
Right.
Because we're looking at soft tissue damage most of the time.
Right. MRIs or CAT scans.
Yes. And with what is it called? The arthrogram?
Oh, yeah.
The arthrogram is a really good tool too, so if you
Mhm.
can get that on the roster. But they're gonna have to do x-ray first, and then they're gonna do the next thing, and then they're gonna look into doing like the surgical route.
Yep.
Because they have to check off A, B, and C.
And then if you're like us, you'll be like, okay, let's do it. And the doctor's going to try and sell it to you more. And you'll be like, no, let's
Right.
do it. And like, but it's surgery. I know it's scary,
you were like, no,
but let's do it.
tomorrow we could do tomorrow.
Yeah, cut me open, doc.
And our spouses are like, Jesus, please.
We
make
want to
them
get filleted.
stop."
Not filleted, filleted. I want to be
Filleted.
turned into a fillet. A Chick-fil-A.
That Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Okay.
Just saying.
That'll show them.
Yeah, take that, government. Turned into a Chick-fil-A.
Take that, Chick-fil-A. This
Now
is
I'm open on
definitely not
Sundays.
chicken.
I'm
And
an
you don't hate
alternative.
the gays.
I don't know about that one. I've never met one, so I can't say.
Yeah.
I hear they're scary people, though. They have gay dust, and they make you do things.
Only
Right.
if you were already like preconditioned to be gay.
Even closeted.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. On that note.
Yeah.
We're gonna end it because it's
What
getting,
is this? Season
it's
1,
getting
episode
silly.
1?
I know. I'm
Jesus.
like, this is wow. He's gonna be filleted, and then we're gonna show them. 'cause This is terrible.
I want to be filleted now.
All right. We love you guys. Thank you so much for coming along on our little wander through the balancing act of chronic illness and
Yeah.
care. I hope you found something relatable or enjoyable. And if you did, please like, share, subscribe.
Share, especially if you know somebody who could use this or is new or someone you know who needs to learn
Yeah.
things. You send them the video.
There you go. In the meantime, we're going to say goodbye. So be kind to you, be kind to others, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Whoopah! Clean exit.
No.
It's just so jiggly.